Okay. Oh, shit.
Is it time?
Very good.
We're probably live already.
Oh.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the podcast. The absolute unusual Tuesday podcast. I don't think we've ever done a podcast on Tuesday, but
You're right.
Special occasion tonight. We've got Savannah in the house.
everybody.
We've got Mike in the house, of course. The Gatorland crew, which I'm so excited about. I tell you what, guys, Savannah, when you reached out to me and said you guys were coming, I was so stoked because it's been like a year and a half since you've been up, right?
It's been forever.
Yeah. So we got to do the picture with Salt and Pepper, by the way.
Yes.
I forgot about
as
that.
As soon as this is over.
Yes. So,
You did an
of course, we have
animal
an amazing picture with probably the coolest picture of Salt and Pepper ever was with Savannah. And we tried to
Crisscross
duplicate.
applesauce.
Yeah, crisscross applesauce. As a matter of fact, Max Strong, our friend, Max, he tried to duplicate that picture. Did you see it?
I did.
Yeah, he tried to duplicate. He said, I want the picture exactly like Savannah. So,
Did he get it, or did it not work out?
No, it got it.
No, he got it.
It wasn't as good, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I love you, Max. I love you, Max, but it wasn't as good.
But I think it got more views because he has way more followers because he's super hot.
He is sexy. He's a sexy man. He's a sexy man. You know, he's filming some show with MTV, right?
Yeah. He actually moved to Florida.
Yeah.
Because I called him before I came here to see if he could meet us here, but he was already in Florida.
Yeah,
so.
I think we're going to go visit him when you come down, too. So, and of course, Mike, you're like the man behind the curtain, you know?
Yeah.
We hardly ever
He's
get
like
you
the
out
great
of the
and
house.
powerful Oz.
The great and powerful Oz. So we never see Mike.
I don't come to the Great White North.
Yeah.
very often.
So these guys are definitely, up here in Michigan, which, by the way, is a very balmy 40 degrees today. And we feel like it was springtime here in Michigan, but you guys were complaining.
We did not feel like it was springtime.
It's not.
We left 85 degrees.
You know when it's warm in Michigan when you see people on the sidewalks wearing shorts. All
Yeah,
right? There's
and
a
that
few
happens.
people wearing shorts today that I saw, and that's how you know, they're white.
Yeah.
And A, we're in Michigan, and there's good weather outside.
Yeah, so this was beautiful. But anyways, I'm glad. that you
different
guys came.
perspective is if it's in the afternoon and there's ice piled up in a parking lot, it's too cold.
So Mike's never been in snow.
That's true.
You've never been in snow.
Today's the
No.
first day he's ever felt snow.
What?
That's not snow, though. That's like ice.
Where
Yeah.
have you been your whole life, man?
Florida.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, Florida, man. Florida, man.
You got to hit the slopes.
Well, listen, guys, before we get going, if anyone does have any super chats, let us know. We'll be answering questions about Gatorland, about anything you guys want to talk about, really. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I think that we had talked about Gatorland is... tell me some facts about Gatorland. 1940 something you guys opened?
1949 is one of Orlando's original attractions before Disney.
Before Disney. Before Mickey came.
We say BD.
Yeah.
BD. Oh, BD.
before Disney.
That
How
is
many
good.
years BD were you?
I do not know exactly when
did
Disney
well, wait a
opened.
second.
This is the 50th
anniversary for Disney.
So 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah,
20
so
years
so
BD.
you're
Or 21,
20
actually, because
Yeah.
we're
21 BD.
Gatorland's 22 this year or 21? 22.
22.
22 BD. So there you go.
No,
So
wait.
anyways, what is that?
I'm not a math person.
Yeah.
But
It's 70.
this year would be 72.
Yeah.
72. Okay, yeah, and this year. So 21, 22 BD. Whatever. You guys do your own math. Regardless, if you guys have questions, we will answer. Jerica is one of our mods. She's awesome. I hate her because she has a beautiful Pokemon thing that I want really badly. Hey, checking in Gator fams. How's your day? So how's your day, guys?
So good.
Yeah, this has been a really good trip so far. I'm expanding my horizons with coming up here in cold weather. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, I'm glad that you made it up here, and I feel like it's an honor to have broken your virginity on snow. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if parking lot ice is snow, but it's as close as I've ever
Hey,
come.
listen,
so.
it's something, virgin
I think
white
if
snow.
you would have came here last week, you would have actually died, though, because it was like 0 and freezing and snowing.
Oh my gosh!
and
A week and a half ago, you would have died.
there was a foot of snow everywhere.
Yeah,
Look,
it was bad.
I mean, anything below 80 I consider bad.
Yeah, well, it's weird that you say that. I always say anything below 70 is terrible, and I live in Michigan. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
Yeah, I mean, you're up here. You got T-shirt on today, though.
My gosh, it's like balmy out there, I'm telling you. All right, Mr. Simpleman says, great vlog today. It was awesome how you used your camera to keep salt from falling on the ground. Hello, Gatorland fam. So what happened was these boneheads.
Yeah, I'm posting that tomorrow.
Yeah,
So you'll see.
So these boneheads did a video with Salt and Pepper where they were going to feed Salt and Pepper. Now, you got to remember, you guys are experts with gators, right?
Yeah.
You could do anything with them. These guys, they don't know what the hell they're doing. You know what I mean? Let's just put it simple. And so
Makes
they
for
were
good entertainment.
trying to hand feed Salt and Pepper, not with tongs or anything, just hand feed them.
And we did.
And it went terribly wrong.
Yeah.
But did they eat, though? Did they eat though?
Yeah, well,
Fingers or what?
No, they ate the chicken.
Okay.
I still have all mine.
yeah. But listen, first off, Salt almost fell out of the enclosure.
Almost.
So like 3 times. It almost bit.
She didn't though.
Yeah.
You're painting it like we did a bad job. Everything was okay and happened well.
yeah, right. I gotta do this. And Tina Holmes says, so we filmed this today, and let me just press what I say. So Jay actually we call him Jay the edutainer instead of entertainer. Used to be called Jay the entertainer. Now we switched it to edutainer.
Okay.
Multifaceted.
And so we filmed. He's all excited about Dwayne the Croc Johnson, the alligator, and him playing dead. Now I said that when he was going to show Savannah this trick of his, that Savannah would fake that she was excited to make him feel good, but inside she was going to think this is so stupid, and you didn't even fake it.
I know. I felt bad. I felt bad as it was happening, but then I was like, nah.
Well, tell me why they do that.
So it's tonic immobility.
See, there you go.
If you turn an alligator upside down, like they go to sleep, but it's kind of I love Jay. Let me say this first. Yeah. I think he's great. But it's kind of not like cool for them, the alligators.
Oh, it's not good for them?
Yeah.
Then we got to stop doing that.
Well, it's a state of confusion.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out what is going on, and that's why they don't move. And then once they figure it out, they'll start moving.
Oh, so we got to stop that.
Yeah.
We got to stop that. See, we're learning here tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
yeah. Every
learning.
single day you learn.
But,
Especially, look at you. You've been in the business for many years, and look at you just learned something you didn't know.
never even heard the term tonic mobility. I thought that
immobility.
It's tonic immobility. I thought that's when you drank a lot of gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You become immobile.
Same thing.
Right. That's why Danny's in the other room. He has tonic immobility.
Immobility.
He's working on his.
Yeah. By the way, unfortunately, we do have Danny here from Gatorland as well, but we only have 4 mics.
Yeah.
And we've got 4 people. And that's why you will not hear Jay behind the mic tonight. But
Exactly.
So anyways, guys, so how are things going? How are you guys coping with the COVID thing? I mean, I know in the beginning
Well,
it was probably
we're
tough.
from Florida.
Yeah, it's different
Yeah, that's true.
different set of rules.
Yeah, but I mean, in the beginning, it probably affected you guys getting back to normal-ish. I mean, maybe not normal, but better.
Yeah, it's improving. Our weekends are way stronger than
Really?
the weekdays, which is steadily climbing.
Good.
We're getting into spring break. Hopefully, there'll be some domestic travel going on.
Yeah.
But we're nowhere near where we were in 2019.
Sure.
But we're doing good.
Good. Well, that's important because it's so many places like you guys. Maybe not in Florida so much, but in other parts of the country. I mean, I have friends that have private zoos, aquariums that have been shut 9 months out of the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And so it's awesome to hear that you guys, because I tell you, I love you guys so much. You know,
We love you too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's by far the best place to go in Florida.
I think
agree.
so.
We do it every day. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah,
It's great.
And it's funny because we get a lot of people here at the Reptarium that gush about, oh my God, I went to Gatorland. It was the best ever.
And
you
we
know?
get a lot of people at Gatorland. They're like, "Oh, we're good friends with Brian. We love Noah, and we go to the Reptarium."
Yep, all the time.
So it's a great relationship. I know that our people love you, and your people love us, and it's just the best way to have it.
Oh my gosh.
It's not even work. It's easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's work, but it's easy work. I mean, it doesn't feel like work because we do what we love, but it's you guys are working your butts off. Don't tell me you're not.
We are, and so masks are required at Gatorland right now.
Right.
So like I said, it was 85 degrees coming up.
Oh.
So here in the dead in the heat of the summer, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, the challenge is going to get to be consistent with that rule.
I might have to get a shield like you have.
Yeah, I've done that
And
a bunch
I
of
can't
times.
fit my hat under.
Just have someone. Come on, someone can make us a custom
Easy.
thing.
Just get a bigger hat.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I don't think they make one.
I have the biggest hat in Florida.
They are big. Have you seen her?
I
hat?
have. I want to.
Oh my gosh, Jay, do you have a picture of Savannah's
It's
hat?
like a
There's gotta be
sombrero.
something you can just maybe search that. But
it's so multi-purpose.
Yeah,
like
of
the
course.
hat calls alligators. The hat can hold stuff. Plus, it's like a gigantic umbrella for sunshade.
Yeah.
So it's
It hits me in the head constantly.
yeah. Now,
I like it.
Can I tell the story about how you use the hat to I by the way, I've said that you guys have a Spinosaurus at your park because you have the hybrid crocodile that is going to kill people eventually. It's
Oh,
gonna
the one we caught.
Cuban Nile.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, it's going to run around. It's going to be Jurassic Park all over again. You guys
Yes.
haven't learned your lesson. But can you tell a story about the hat? Because that was brilliant how you caught that animal.
Well, so we have an alligator. It's we didn't breed it. It was given to us, and it's actually a cross between a Nile crocodile and a Cuban crocodile. So if you don't, here's the thing about crocodiles. Nile crocodiles take down gigantic prey,
Yep.
right? And they get super big.
Yep.
Cuban crocodiles are very smart and agile. So
Yep.
combining those two is like making that thing that was in the last Jurassic Park.
Spinosaurus,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to show it to you because
Yeah.
it's an amazing animal, you
Yes.
know. And then we had to catch it, and it was just trying to eat me so many times.
I was fearful.
It
because
jumped out of the
like
enclosure
Mike
at
wouldn't
you.
grab it,
Nope.
you
No,
wouldn't
I
grab
thought
it.
if that thing got you, it was. I'm just telling you, I was impressed because I'm pretty fearless when it comes to animals, and I would not have done that.
Yeah, so I just took my hat off, kind of covered his eyes up, right? Kind of covered his eyes up, and it was biting, and then I just went underneath the back of the hat and snatched it out.
It was impressive. It really was.
crazy.
Serenity Serpent says Cuban croc conservation. I know you're really into that, so tell us about that.
So our Gatorland Global program, which is also what brought us here this time, it's fueled by our YouTube channel, Gatorland Vlogs, and so all the money from that, some of it goes to Cuban crocodile conservation, some of it goes to alligator conservation, some of it goes to Jamaica,
Yeah.
Cuba.
Were you just in Jamaica?
I was just in Jamaica, which was really interesting during COVID times.
Yeah.
Rough
How was it? I mean, do they live like normal, or are they like really restricted?
I mean, masks everywhere,
Oh,
but
okay.
you know, it depends on where you are in Jamaica.
Yeah,
you know,
gotcha.
like I stayed at the Hope Zoo for a long time, and
Oh, okay.
so everybody wears masks there.
Okay.
You know, continuously, and then you know, I was in the country for a while, like in the way back of
Right.
not a place that's never in the pictures that you see
Sure,
of Jamaica.
right. Yeah.
So I was out there, and it's a little different out there, but you know.
And what are they doing? What are you guys involved in there, like with crocodiles? I mean, what is the conservation there?
So we work with a sanctuary there.
Okay.
It's so the name is kind of loosely the Jam Croc Sanctuary.
Okay.
And what they do is they take crocodiles that are either found by local residents or rescued from situations where the pollution might be bad. Sometimes there's poaching issues in
Right,
Jamaica.
sure.
So if there's an area where they know poachers frequent,
Right.
if there's a crocodile there, they might remove it. And they work with NEPA, which is the National Environmental Protection Agency there. And so they go to this sanctuary and they stay there, and then they get head started. And once they're about 1 to 2 feet, then they release them back into Jamaica.
That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
stuff. And that's great. I mean, that's so your global thing is that's just been over the last few years. You guys have really been pushing?
It's probably the last 3. I mean, Savannah
last 3.
spearheaded that starting about 3 years ago, and it's just kind of a growing arm that Gatorland has with the education and conservation.
It's awesome. I mean, it's cool that you guys have. I mean, you guys are the perfect mix of like entertainment, conservation, education, and just a damn good time. You know?
Yeah, it is.
It's just a damn good
We
time.
have to be having a good time.
I mean, but you do the exact same thing. So, you know, I don't know how, like your people probably
Yeah.
know our history. Like I've known you
Yeah.
for what now, like 15,
Oh,
20 years?
at least, yeah.
And so I've been able to watch you, and you've been a great mentor in how you take really good care of your animals, interact with them, and then also educate at the same time. So you've been a great influence in my life.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, trust me. I mean, we think the world of you, and it's I think we have always termed that, you know, edutainment. You know,
Yeah.
we want to educate, entertain, and keep people excited. Lindsay Ray says, "Been a while, missed the podcast. Went through a rough patch in life, but I'm glad to be back and able to listen in again." Lindsay, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Glad you're
Cody,
doing
hello
good.
everyone. Hope you're all great.
Hey,
Looking
Cody.
forward to this one for sure. Savannah is a hoot.
That's for
Yeah. How long was I here before there was blood all over the floor today?
Oh my gosh, minutes.
45 minutes.
Let me just
max.
tell you, there's DNA splattered all along the entire place.
I'm collecting it. I'm cloning it.
Yeah.
Savannah. I'm
Right.
cloning
I
Savannah.
think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't know that we want more than one of her in the world of
Well, we
Mike,
just
right?
need one for the Reptarium.
Oh,
I
we
was
do
just
need a
going
Savannah.
Back, exactly.
I'm just always going to have to remember that description. She is a hoot.
That's Mike works there every day. He knows all about that.
She's
the
a
problem
hoot.
with is we don't need a miniature Savannah. You know,
okay.
we need a full grown Savannah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that might take a little bit more.
Yeah, it might take a little bit of time. So a little bit. All right, Melissa says, New Buffalo, Michigan, Ice Angel is almost as cool as touching Baby Kush. Love you guys.
Do you know what that is?
I don't really know.
It's an ice angel.
New Buffalo Ice.
Buffalo
idea.
Ice Angel. What is
We're
that?
about to find out.
We're about to find out what that is.
Oh, that's my hat, and that's my
yeah,
RJ.
exactly. I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Ice Angel.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow.
So Mike can go up and
Oh,
touch the
heck.
Ice Angel.
Wow.
That does look actually pretty dope.
Is
I'm
it-
not going
That
to lie
is
to you.
cool.
I'm not
That's
gonna lie to you.
naturally forming?
You know,
I don't know.
It does look like it is
It
like maybe
does.
something like a little glacier,
Like
or
a geyser that
thingy?
froze?
That means it's like super cold.
Interesting.
Huh.
Hey, that's cool.
Wow.
Well, there you go. We're going to go to New Buffalo on our way to wherever else
Wait,
we're
that's
going.
in Michigan.
I know. That's what I'm saying. New Buffalo, Michigan.
I was thinking it was like New York or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Buffalo, New. Yeah,
I was
no,
thinking Antarctica.
Yeah, we're very close to Antarctica here in Michigan, so that's interesting. That's good stuff. So okay, cool. We won't take you guys there. Trust me. I hope that winter's over. To be honest with you, but
I do too.
real quick, we got Sue Blair here, so I can't wait till the 25th. I'll be back from PA for the second time in 6 months, bringing 2 gals with me. Love to watch Brian and Noah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, any questions for Savannah and Mike on Gatorland? We'd love to hear that because I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are, first off, Mike, like I've said so many times, you are ridiculous with crocodilians. I've been around a lot of crocodilian experts, over the years, and you're as good as it gets.
I
mean,
appreciate
it's,
that. Thank you.
And it's wonderful to watch. Let me share a story. You were with me.
Be careful. His head's already really
Yeah, I'm
big.
sorry. Yeah, Savannah's got to stay with
Savannah, please be quiet. I'm listening to Brian right now.
for the first time. Mike likes what I'm saying.
He's like, keep talking.
Say more, Brian. No, I remember when this was actually pretty funny, to be honest with you. You went in with the Cuban Crocs, and you had a leaf. For gosh sakes, I don't know if you
okay.
remember this even. We're like over on the dock, it's safety. And Mike goes, let me see if I can make them do something or whatever. And you pick up a leaf off the ground. You were there.
Yeah, I was there. I remember
a leaf
this.
off the ground. And this Cuban Crocs are unbelievably athletic.
Yeah, it's
and it's
crazy.
like creeping on you. You've got this like leaf. I guess you're trying to make it think it's food or something. I'm not sure. Probably not the smartest thing you'd want to do. It's like, hey, guess what? I got a leaf as food here and I'm 5 feet away from you. But it got right up at you and it did a little jump and it literally got off the ground.
Yeah, Ricardo's an excellent jumper. We've used that tactic several times.
Oh my gosh.
But it's variable reinforcement. He doesn't get food every time he does it.
Yeah, right.
But he's an excellent jumper.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He is. And it's good to do it the way Mike does it sometimes because what is it called, Mike? Intrinsic.
No, variable reinforcement.
There you go.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. I'm curious about
Yeah, I
variable
wanna know about
reinforcement.
So variable reinforcement, it's very simple. Crocodiles try and catch something in the wild all the time. They're not successful every time.
Right.
Doesn't mean they quit trying.
Yeah.
It actually reinforces them trying to capture food.
Oh, okay. So if you gave it to them every time, it'd be bad.
Yeah.
They'd be lazy.
Yeah, it makes them lazy.
now do
The
you-
expectation. Yeah.
Do you think
Right.
that's the same thing with our monitors potentially?
Yeah, that's why I was curious about what you had to say about it because I'm always looking at different enrichment that we could do. Obviously we target train, we do enrichment, but it's like I'm like really big on this like whole behavior enrichment thing. Like getting these animals as happy as you can be, and you almost do wonder if every time they do something you get reward. I mean, I don't know how that works. You're more of a
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to definitely reward the targeted behavior,
Yeah.
Especially the first time they do it.
Yeah.
But once it becomes somewhat routine, then you do variable reinforcement, and then you change it up to keep them stimulated.
that's smart. Maybe we need to do that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Elvis is pretty. Like your animals, like
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I
His
think,
animals
like,
are spot on.
your animals are spot on. So I mean, the whole idea of there only being one way to do anything, I
Right.
just think is completely incorrect.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
your way works with RJ, which I'm always fascinated by.
Yeah, 'cause
like
it's
the
so
way
wrong.
No, it's just different, and
Yeah.
that's why I was excited to see for you to show Mike what you do with
That was
RJ,
really cool.
Yeah.
because it's completely different than anything I've ever seen anywhere I've been.
Yeah. And by the way, so yeah, we took RJ out today, like Savannah was saying, and Mike brought up an interesting thing that that I don't know if I should be proud or sad about this, but we've seen each other about 4 times in the last year and a half.
about 4.
And 2 of the 4 times I've been in my underwear.
50% of the time I've seen you in your
of the time
underwear.
I'm in my underwear. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. You know?
I don't know if
I don't know.
it's
Do you have something to tell them?
I'm trying to
is
think
this
about this.
subconscious. Is this a choice?
Because I mean,
think
I've
it's
seen
just
Savannah a lot more, and she's only seen me twice in my underwear too, you know.
Yeah.
And I've seen her a lot more than I've seen you, Mike.
I mean, I'm just wondering if Lori knows what's going on.
Well, the next time you come to Gatorland, as soon as you walk in, I'm gonna be
I'm
like,
good. Drop them. Yeah, drop them. I'm going
Let's
in.
get
man.
this out of the way.
You should tell him. I don't even know what you're talking about. What's so different that he does with RJ compared to what you guys do in Gatorland? I just want to know, and I'm sure some of the viewers are wondering as well.
well, even with our best crocodiles and alligators, we never touch them in the face. Like, I mean, we do, like in the middle, right, in the front, but like the way that you hold RJ and do eye contact and then allow for other things to happen, like I've never seen anyone do that. And people maybe have tried, but I don't think they've been successful like you have.
Yeah, and I still have all my fingers. It's again, I always say, I think you told me this. As a matter of fact, you said if you do something wrong, do it wrong every time.
That's right.
You know, and I think that's the thing. I think that my training with RJ, and really now I do the same with Salt. I didn't learn it from anyone. I was just like, how can I just wanted to have something routine that they understood. When I do this to you, that means that you have to be good, you know, type of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I just thought touching them on the face was the way to go. Probably not the way to go with ISOs and so on like that. That being said, I told you the story about how I, went a little too far and decided to try to take a tooth out of Salt.
Well, that's not training. That's complacency.
Yeah, you're right. That's what happened.
difference.
That's exactly. It's funny. I was standing there, and there was a group of people. By the way, we were open to the public when this happened because again, a patron was holding it when I got bit, and so by the time I got bit, almost everyone in the place came over because they're like, "Oh my God, someone's getting bit by an alligator." It held on for 8 minutes. The whole time, I did not wince. I did not act like I was in pain. I was completely like fine, and that's what I said. I said, this is my fault. I became completely complacent. I forgot she was an alligator, and I thought I could do anything with her, and that's when you get into trouble.
Right.
And that was it was a very valuable lesson for me to learn, quite frankly.
Right.
Because normally I would be like, oh no, I could do anything with this animal. Now I've backed off a little bit. And even the way I've let people handle her, I've backed off a little bit, because I don't want anyone else to get bit, because that hurts like hell.
Yeah,
Yes,
and she's getting big. She looks so great,
Yeah.
and she's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
she's
amazing.
growing
And of
big.
course, Pepper looks amazing too. I mean, it's
Oh my God, how much do I love Pepper?
you love
That is
Pepper.
a cool looking
I
alligator.
am in love with that
so
alligator.
beautiful.
Yeah, well, everyone knows. I've told it. Said that it'll end up being down in Gatorland for a period of time, because really, Salt is our educational animal. Pepper is just a great, kind of Batman to
Right.
Robin to Batman,
Yeah.
and eventually it's going to be hard when that animal gets 6 foot for us to handle.
Yeah.
We don't have a facility to handle a 6 foot aggressive alligator.
Right.
And that's what it's going to be, unfortunately. And you guys are pros
It's
at
not
it.
unfortunate. We just want her. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It's unfortunate for you, but it's not, like I can't wait to see Salt.
You
Like
should sugarcoat it a little bit.
I can't.
No,
like,
Savannah's not that way, Mike. Come on, Mike. You know that.
taking his
That's probably
animal.
the thing I love about Savannah more than anything is you always know where you stand with Savannah.
It's true.
She's never gonna. She's like Lori. She's never gonna be nice to you if she don't like you. You know what I mean? She's just like, she's gonna.
But
tell you
I
how
am
it is.
honestly like when I first saw Pepper. I was not immediately attracted to Pepper. Like I mean, I think it's a beautiful animal either way, and I love all alligators. But as Pepper started to grow and develop this little sort of sassy personality, so we've started calling all of our female alligators that don't have names Karens. Like anytime we'll just be like, Karen coming up behind you, Karen on this side.
Nice.
But Pepper has developed this even today when we had her out. She's developed like the greatest sort of
It's
her
fun.
own personality separate from Salt.
It's a fun animal. There's no doubt about it. Boss Ham says, Gatorland boy. Savannah looking hot as always. Look at that. What about Mike? What you guys dissing Mike or what? Come on
What
now.
about us?
Silver
No.
Cash. Awesome. Glad I got off tonight to watch. Thank
Hey,
you so
Silver
much.
Cash,
We've
welcome.
got, let's see. Oh, where we go? Hey.
Sassleback.
I think where we at Sassleback. I think we were at Little Bugs actually, or no, Let Roses Burn.
There we go.
Let Roses Burn. Hi, Savannah and Mike. Got to get back to Gatorland. 4 awesome people in one room. Thank you so much.
This is the first time Let Roses Burn ever said anything nice about one of
I
us.
know she always talks nice about Lori.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
wait. Where's my doll? Where's my doll?
It's in the corner
Can
over
you get
there.
it, Noah? Can
Yeah,
you
I can get it.
Noah?
I can get
Oh,
it.
you guys see
It's because I'm a lot like Lori.
Yeah,
Like, that's what it is. That's why we get along so well.
Are you?
I mean, I'm a lot
You
like
are
her,
like-
and you
oh,
know
yeah,
where you
yeah.
stand.
Oh yeah, no, very much. No, you guys are very, very much.
So
like-
what is this?
Look at this. This is Let Roses Burn made this.
Oh my gosh.
This is a Brian doll. And this is RJ. It's missing the leg. It's got the banana. It's same shirt I'm wearing today.
Nice.
This is
You
different
have
color.
your own action figure.
That's so cool.
So that was Let Roses Burn. But we joke around. She always says nice things about
She
Lori,
has
but hardly ever
stubble.
says.
She has a.
Yeah, I know. It's got a little stubble. It's
awesome.
perfect. It's good. So there you go. I'll send you guys one so you
Yeah,
can put it up on
that's
your mantle at home.
great.
too.
Great.
There you go. He usually hangs
Little
out at the
bogus,
end.
loving this. What's your favorite Gatorland story? Why don't you guys both tell me? I mean, I'm sure you got a million of them, but just pick one. Great
You want to go
Gatorland story.
first? Or you want me to go
You
first?
go.
Okay,
I gotta
so-
think about that one.
I mean, I have a billion too, but I will tell you that during quarantine, so we work with big alligators, right? Like 10 foot, 12 foot, easy, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And in our breeding marsh, there's 130 alligators.
Wow.
And so during quarantine, when everything was shut down, there were very few of us that were in the park. And we were in there basically to feed and clean and make sure everybody was safe. So these alligators that we work with on a day-to-day basis are used to seeing people all day.
Yeah.
Well, during the quarantine, they didn't see people all day. And the only people they did see were us, and we were feeding. So it was interesting for me to see the dynamic change.
Right.
So we kind of started doing live YouTube videos, right? Every day at 3:00.
Okay.
And then they were good for about the first week. But then after about the second week, we recognized that instead of being able to interact with them and do things the way we used to, it was a full-on attack.
Oh, so they're just like food.
And so I was there one night by myself, and I
that's
spent
safe.
the night. I did
That's
an
safe.
overnight thing.
That's safe.
And I was on a bike in the breeding marsh, right? Riding a bike.
That's even safer.
And
yeah.
I had chicken in the back of the cart. And I was like,
Of course you did.
I'll just go through and I'll do some quick like Instagram stories, or I'll Instagram live out there. But what
yeah.
happened was they all started following the bike, right? So I'm riding the bike and I would stop and they would all be behind me. And it was every single alligator in the breeding marsh, all 130 of them. Chasing me
Oh
on
my
this
gosh.
bicycle. There's no way to film it. I didn't have
Oh,
a
if you
drone.
could have filmed it, it would have been
If I would have had a drone,
Oh
it
my
would have been
gosh.
the scariest thing anyone had ever seen
that
in their
would have
entire
been a
life.
200 million view video.
Like
awesome.
all of my friend alligators were all, they completely changed into, oh, today we got her. We're going to eat her. She's here by herself. We don't hear anybody
Oh
else.
my
We got
gosh.
her.
That's great.
great. That's awesome.
fantastic.
That was scary.
That is-
It was terrifying.
We need to
And-
replicate it,
Oh
but
my
film it
gosh.
this time.
But it is interesting you say that, because we had the same thing, not the same thing, but we had a similar thing with the Reptarium, where the animals, after a period of time, because we were shut for almost 4 months, changed their personality.
Yeah.
And it went to the point where instead of 9 out of 10 times we open the cage, they come out, it's every time they get fed. And all of a sudden now they're thinking every time that cage opens, I get fed. They're no longer want to get handled.
Right.
They're like, and so I always tell people, the people that come in that hold our animals are doing our job.
Yes.
Because they're keeping them tame. Whereas when it was just us, we didn't have time to hold everything every day. And so the same thing. It's weird how quickly they can change.
Yeah.
And it took probably, I'm interested with you, how long did it take for your alligators to go back to normal?
So how long were we closed for, Mike?
9 weeks.
We're closed for 9 weeks. So it took about 2 weeks for them
Okay.
to be like straight feral again.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure how long it took for them to get back to normal.
Probably about a month, because
It was
we
a
weren't.
while though.
Yeah, we weren't doing big crowds for that first month that we reopened, and then as the crowds increased, and it almost like there was a panic in the alligators' mind, that because the people there are food,
Right,
they
yeah.
get to feed them, they buy food and they feed the alligators. Well, when we didn't have guests, they saw Savannah on the bike, and they're like,
Basically.
"That's our only shot at food."
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild.
So then when the guests started coming back in, I think it took about a month for that to subside.
Yeah. Same here. It took us about 2 or 3 weeks before our animal, like even Perdita, my retic, who's so tame, it took about 2 weeks before I felt comfortable like putting it around a kid's neck. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
I bet.
You know, I mean, just that first couple weeks, we had to be really careful. We weren't as liberal with what we were doing. And then within about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they went right back to normal. But it was interesting that first day we were open, I was surprised at how different everything was. I was like, oh, wait a second here. Something has changed.
Yep.
This isn't the same, you know, so it's wild. But,
yeah, it's strange when, like, it would be like if you had a dog your whole life and then all of a sudden your dog started giving you the side eye, like, I might eat him.
I might.
That happened with Kramer when he got old and senile.
Yeah, my rat terrier did that. Yeah, I could eat everybody. Becky threw $5 just for love. So
Thank you, Becky.
My buddy Matt from Sassleback Reptiles. I can't wait to get back to Gatorland and hang out with you guys again. It's been so much fun when I was there with Brian last time. Matt came with us. It was about a year and a half ago. We came and he came with us and had a great time. So And Matt's worked at various zoos like Reptiland, and he's worked at the Mystic Aquarium up in outside of New York City and stuff like that. So he's a great guy too. So Silver Cash came back, said had to scrub tubs and sell some rats. Almost didn't get off to watch tonight. Silver Cash always in town. He breeds rats and he scrubs tubs. Obviously, he also makes pizza. So he's a good guy. Let's see. Will a juvenile gator go off food in the winter? My gator named Chubbs, as you can imagine, will stop eating and will pick back up in the spring. It's climate controlled area. This is the second year he's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
They know what time of year it is.
Yeah.
And it's also, I mean, I don't know where that person lives, but also what we notice is, like, right now it's getting into breeding season, right? So the alligators are way more interested in ladies than they are interested in eating.
Right.
So the big boys, you know, the big males, the
Right.
big bull alligators, they don't come to the feedings as much as they used to because they're very busy protecting their space.
Oh, okay.
You know, one of my favorite alligators, his name is Jaws. He's very old, but he likes to fight, like, the majority of the year, right?
okay.
So the other day I saw him bellow for the first time and I was really excited and I was trying to film it and I was like, oh my God, Jaws is bellowing. That's so great. And he's older, you know, maybe 60 years old. Well, he was bellowing in the wrong spot and I didn't recognize it. And of course, there's nothing I can do because I'm not going to swim across 130 alligators.
Right.
And the big boy, Lamar, came around the corner because he heard him and like smacked him in the head, right?
Wow.
And he hasn't been the same since. Like, he's okay. He
He
still
just
eats.
went like, I just got beat up.
I'm gonna kind of chill for a while.
Yeah, the old man got beat up by the young buck, and now he's like, oh crap.
Took his mojo.
Yeah, what's the big one that is like the bird path? You know, where your bird sanctuary area is. What's the
Buddy?
Buddy?
Buddy.
Oh, that thing is awesome, man. That is a big animal.
Well, Buddy's being unseated right now too.
Really? He's getting kicked out of his
Yeah, he's
place?
having to fight a little harder these days than he's ever had to.
Oh my gosh.
There's two alligators, Bogey and Turnpike. Those are their names, and they're kind of pushing into his neighborhood.
Wow, that's surprising because that's a giant
Well,
alligator.
but these alligators were two rescued, right? So they're two wild alligators, and I don't know how they recognize that they're both wild.
They're
right?
always
But
together.
they're a tag team, so.
Right.
So they swim together, they feed together, and they're taking over Buddy's territory together.
Wow. Now, would that be normal? That seems abnormal to me, but I'm not a gator expert. I mean, do they do that?
I mean, they fight over territory, and usually size is a determining factor. But I guess when they're
to team
ganging
up,
up,
though?
that's
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
It's unusual.
That's like
That's cool though.
Yeah, it reminds
But
me. Of
everywhere you see them, they're always together
Yep.
normally. Now Bogey is more powerful than Turnpike because Turnpike came to us without a foot.
Okay.
Right. So he's not quite as aggro as Bogey is.
Right.
But Bogey is gonna take over the whole breeding month.
That. Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
He's
that's his personality.
Really?
Most of them find their area and they stay in it, but he goes from one side to the other, back and forth, patrolling.
You know, one of the things I find interesting is the breeding marsh is amazing, but you guys like know each and every animal. I mean, that's how do you? I mean, that's crazy. Like there'll be like 20 alligators swimming. Like there's this and there's that, there's that, there's that. And I'm like, well, they look like I mean, I love reptiles, and I still think they look like alligators. You know, how do you guys know them so much? I mean, is it just like?
Well, I mean, they participate in the feedings and in the vlogs and in all the filmings that we do. They're always participants, and
so you just get
they
to know
make their
everyone.
presence known. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just crazy.
I'm sure that also obviously not every gator is the same, right?
Right.
They
Right.
may look the same from a distance, but when you get close, you can see a
right.
distinct cut. Oh,
Yes.
that's Chopper. He got a cut on his upper lip, like
Right.
stuff
Yep.
like that. And then over time, they all
Yeah, but I've seen Savannah from like 50 yards away be like, "Come here," you know, and you have of course. Okay, I gotta ask you, why are all alligator people loud? Is that?
I mean, am I loud?
You're not very
Okay.
loud. You're not very loud, but it seems like all the other Gatorland people
Yeah,
are super
we're
loud.
loud. Well,
I mean, yeah.
Michael Brown.
Michael's
Yeah.
loud. He's loud.
Yeah. He may be louder than Savannah.
I don't know that. Maybe it's a close race.
we're gonna have
But,
to bring the decibel meter out.
Yeah.
I
know
think it
that.
comes from
Calling him.
no, what's his name? Gator Joe. So the guy, you know more about that
Yeah.
than I do.
So Gator Joe Ernest, he raised all of our alligators.
Really?
He had helped start up Gatorland. He's passed now,
Mm.
but he worked there for 50 some years.
Wow.
And when he raised all the alligators, that's what he would do is he would call them with this deep berry white voice.
Yeah.
So that's what they know. And as we were getting trained to work around him, we try to imitate Ernest, and we just kind of pass that on. So
That's awesome.
it was loud and deep. And when Savannah first got there, she had to try and sound like a guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what she was trying to do, is to get the deep part. Now they recognize her for her, but in the beginning she had
Yeah.
to.
Like they would not even turn in my direction.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot here.
All right.
Do your Chester, big
Okay.
boy.
Oh boy!
I'm gonna back off the mic.
All right, let's do it.
Please.
Chester, big boy.
He just busts through the wall like the Kool-Aid man. He breaks down the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear to
It
God,
works.
When we
It
were down
works.
there, when we came with Miguel the one time,
Yes, that was
the
so
entire
funny.
rest of the trip, all we did was Chester, big boy. Like, I mean, the whole trip, all we did was that's like
That was a good one.
the best, I tell you. All right, what we got? We got This Tomsky's in the house. That's of course
Lisa.
Jade.
Hey,
Yeah,
Lisa.
hi Brian. You're in good company with Magic Mike having your underwear on in Savannah, the Gatorland goddess. Hi Magic Mike, Noah, and Jay. That's
Hey.
awesome.
Hi,
Lisa actually brought Jay to Gatorland,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how Jay actually met you guys.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yeah, people. We've told
That's
this story
cool.
a million times. Yeah, I met Jay at Gatorland with his mom Lisa, so that's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Let's see, we got hello all my favorite YouTubers are on my on my number one podcast. Love you guys, Brian, Noah, Savannah, Mike, and Jay. You guys are brightening my day. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
I appreciate
Letitia.
it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Letitia.
Silver
Thank
Cash
you.
is back, the rat tub cleaner. Always love the story on how Savannah started at Gatorland. Her personality is awesome. Tell that story. I love that story as well. How'd you get going in Gatorland?
So I always wanted to work at Gatorland. It's my favorite place in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was living in California at the time, and I was applying for every job they had.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was a facilities job, I'd apply for it. If it was food and beverage, I apply for it. It's photography, I apply for it, because I knew once I got in, right? Once I got in there, I could like help show the world Gatorland,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
Gatorland has been amazing since its inception. Like
Sure.
I'm not adding anything new to that. I'm just showing how awesome
Yeah.
it is to the world.
Yeah. Right,
because it was already awesome, just nobody knew. And so for 7 years, I was applying. 7 years. Do you realize how long that is? 7
a
years.
long
It is a long
time.
time.
7
Yeah.
years for people to tell you no.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And then finally, I got my interview when I moved back to Florida, and it was with the CEO, Mike Heilman, and it was like going into court.
Yeah.
It was an interview that I had never seen before. Like,
And you've hired a lot of people, I'm sure.
and it was I was told that we're going to do an interview,
And then we're gonna tell her she doesn't have a job here.
and
Yes, to
we
stop
went up
applying.
at the round table, and she did her interview, and there was just a room full of us at the table, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't know this was going to happen. And Mark conducted the interview. He's our CEO.
Yep.
And after
Love
the
Mark.
interview, Savannah walked out, and we stayed and chatted, and Mark looked at all of us and he goes, well, I like her.
And everybody was, especially Mike, was like, "Oh man!"
I was like,
no.
I know
Well, what
she's
about
going to
this
be working
plan-
with the animals.
What happened to what went wrong with the plan that she was not going to? You were telling her, don't apply here anymore.
Because what they didn't know was that I'm very passionate about
Yeah,
all
you are.
animals.
Yeah, you are.
Reptiles. What they didn't know was that, I know a lot about reticulated pythons. I've been friends with you for a long time. I had learned a lot about monitor lizards. They wanted monitor lizards. I had a croc monitor of my own. Like I had kept all these animals before. And so I do have a wealth of knowledge, even though like people don't recognize that, right? Like I helped raise retics and Burmese pythons and mangrove snakes and all kinds of animals for a very long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, but nobody knew that because all they see is like, oh, who's this loud girl? And she just wants to come in here and do whatever. Yeah. But I really just love Gatorland. Like I would marry Gatorland if Gatorland said, "Can we get
on the right path for that?" For sure. A couple of years.
Well, RJ, I think RJ today wanted to marry you.
I think so too.
Because he had his wee wee out.
He was very happy.
He was very happy with Savannah, and she touched it too.
She touched
on accident.
Coitus interruptus?
That wasn't no
accident.
Doing coitus to RJ?
No, it was an accident. My hand slipped.
Oh, that's what they always say.
I've heard that before. I've heard that before. But that just, I think it is a great story because it's I think in animals in particular, wildlife, whether it's conservation, zoos, whatever the case is, it's really difficult to get in. Your foot in the door, and it shows the persistence you need to do that. Yeah. And even if you were up against all the odds where it's like, we do not want this person to be hired by us.
Which is basically what it was.
Yeah, you get the opportunity, and, as Eminem would say, right?
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. The opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
There you go. No, thank you.
We passed 8 miles.
Yeah, we did.
I was like, what? We actually have a new kookaburra at Gatorland, and his name is Marshall. But the reason his name is Marshall is because after Marshall Mathers. Yeah. Because all our kookaburra does is talk smack. Like that's like no matter what, he's always talking smack. Like you can be like, "Hey Marshall, what's going on?" He'll be like,
I love it. What does Jessica has to say?
Jessica.
All right. Didn't get my first super chat, so wanted to throw another one. Oh. Have a wonderful day. Sorry, Jessica. I'm sorry that we missed you. Thank you for having. We got you on this one. That's really good. Let Roses Burn comes back. Don't worry, Brian. I'll visit Pepper every month when she comes down to Florida with Savannah. Yes. Did you see Noah's paintings? I did see it.
I think they're in the corner right there.
Yeah, I watched. They're on the floor.
I got a couple of beautiful.
That's really good. Mr. Simpleman came back and said, "What is the best experience that Savannah has had with the saltwater crocodile, and what makes Mike's favorite experience, or what's Mike's favorite experience with salties?" And I know you have a salty you love.
I do. I love Dundee, but I will. I love Dundee. It was very touch and go. Like Mike kind of taught me how to work with Dundee because I didn't know how to work with saltwater crocodile, and Mike was a master at teaching that. And now it is I can hand feed Dundee, which I never thought would happen, and I'm sure you never thought that would happen either.
No, I thought it was going to happen. I just didn't know how long the comfort level was going to take.
Yeah, it was. Like the first few times I tried, I was like, nope, and I just ran out.
But yeah, the first, it was a funny story. She was bound and determined she's going to, have Dundee stand up and she was going to hand feed him. And we're like, okay, let's do this. And we started off with tongs so she can stay extended. And she goes in there, and Dundee started to stand up just about 5 feet away from her. And he gave her a look, which was a funny look. And then he kind of like flinched at her, and she just dropped and gone. She just left.
Well, because Dundee's been fed by Mike for 17 years.
Yeah.
Right. No one else has ever fed him.
Yeah.
And so then, like, he tried to call my bluff because he's smart, right?
Yeah.
So instead of doing what he does for Mike, he was like, oh, here's an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Opportunistic predator. Yeah. And he was like, let me see what Savannah's going to do. Flinch.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoop. And I ran out. And then I came back in, and I tried again, and he did the same thing. And I swear... He crunched his face up like...
Well, he jumped on the second one. Like, she needed to move on the second one.
Yeah, it's amazing how smart they are, though, right? Yeah. For him to actually recognize that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm going to see if I can... be the dominant here. If I get her to be afraid.
And he won for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, this was years in the making of me finally being able to do it. Like, what, within the past 2 months, really?
Yeah. Oh, really? It's been. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they pay attention, they learn, and they'll take the opportunities. They'll creep up on you when you're not looking. If you turn your back, they'll take that opportunity.
Yeah, it's strange
and you don't even have to turn your head sometimes. If you just turn your eyes, if they catch your eyes looking in a different direction, on it.
Yeah. Just like we were saying earlier about comfortability, like getting too comfortable. It's strange that they never get comfortable. The gators or the crocodiles, they'll never get comfortable.
Oh, they're,
right?
they're just.
I mean, they can, but they always revert back to instinct, and I mean, they're instinctual animals.
Right.
You can condition them, but you can never trust them.
Yeah. Have you guys, I mean, this may be a little bit of a touchy topic, but I'm just curious because you guys are alligator people, is, Bubba, the alligator.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, I love Bubba, by the way. Yeah. And by the way, he's in Florida now, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's down in Florida at some park now because Jim Nessie moved down there. But that always scared me. Now listen, we handled RJ today. We handled Salt. But I wouldn't let a little girl ever, 4 years old, touch RJ's face. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Bubba, and I'm not, again, not trying to say Jim is bad about it, but it freaks me out. I mean, this is a 10-foot plus alligator that, little girls kiss on the face.
Yeah.
Now in Florida, they won't be able to do that.
Right. There's protected contact rules in Florida. But I always revert back to you can probably do something like that 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, but it only takes one time. For it to go wrong. And is that going to be the next time, or is it going to be that millionth?
Yeah, and that's what I always think is one time he decides I'm going to just take this person's head off. You know what I mean? It's that would be a really horrible thing. Like I said, we do a lot of handling here, with the public, but we understand we just one bad thing and we just ruined everything we just made.
It doesn't even have to be an aggressive move. It can just be turning its head. And
because you can get smacked by the bone of an alligator. And so, but it's just, I was just curious. But it is down in Florida now.
And we film our vlogs usually on Sundays, right? Mm-hmm. So we're very aware of when the animals, or we try to be as much as we can, sometimes the animals don't want to work with us.
Right.
Right?
Correct.
Sometimes they are not interested in it. And when they don't want to, we leave them alone.
Yeah.
And we think of something else to do.
Sure.
But predicting that day that they're not in the best mood is very difficult. We'll walk around the park and be like, well, let's see what everybody's doing today. Right. And then we'll kind of formulate things based on that.
Yeah. And I do the same thing. Like you said, sometimes we'll come in and be like, oh, this is going to be the hit for the day.
Totally.
And then it just poops out because the animal has no interest to being involved. So
you got to be able to improvise.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that you guys have enough stuff. As a matter of fact, I still, I'm surprised every time I come. There's something I didn't even know you guys had. Like the other day, last time we did the capybaras and stuff like that. Is that what they are?
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, I didn't even know you guys had those. You know what I mean? I probably been to Gatorland 5 times before I knew you had big Galapagos Island Taurus and Aldabras.
Right.
So you guys have a lot of different things to work with.
Last time I went, the cat.
Oh, yeah, the serval.
I didn't know they had that either.
Yeah, I just saw you guys did another video on that the other day. It was awesome.
the serval.
We did.
So cool.
And they've been doing some amazing stuff with our Florida Panthers, too.
Yeah, they have. That's been really cool.
They've been doing
cold laser
therapy with them because they have arthritis.
They're old. Yeah, because they're old. Yeah,
they're old. They're senior citizens, and so they've been doing this cold laser therapy, and also they've been doing step ups to help them exercise those joints and stuff like that. So we've been able to get Danielle from our animal care department to go in, and she can now massage those areas.
Yeah, I saw a picture inside with, I guess it would be her inside, and I was like, holy cow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They're really cool. We got Melissa, who's always a huge supporter. Billy wants to say hi to Bella. She loves you, Noah.
Ooh.
What was that?
Did I misread that? Say hi to
Bella. I don't know what that was. I missed it.
Billy wants to say hi
to Bella.
He loves Bella and me.
Oh, okay. Oh, he loves Bella and
me.
You. Okay.
Yeah.
V-Dog, what's the best part of working with alligators?
I mean, I learn from them every day.
Yeah.
I can honestly just sit and watch them for hours, and I do. I watch what they're doing. Yeah. I watch what their body posture is, where they're going. I just love, one day I was walking through the breeding marsh and I saw alligators, at least 10, playing with one stick.
Wow.
So it was just a stick, looked like any normal stick. I don't know what was different about the stick, but they would bite it, not break it, put it in their mouth, play with it a little while, pass it off to another one. That one would pick it up, play with it and 4 straight minutes. I filmed, and then I just stopped filming because it went on forever and ever and ever. And I don't know why they were playing with that stick. I don't know what was different about that stick. But things like that I catch, just kind of out of the blue.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, you think about those types of stories like that are happening in the wild all the time. And we all, the general population thinks of alligators as just these simple pea brain, not thinking. And here we have some, what would a scientist say about that? You know what I mean? Like, what are they doing?
Like,
are they just trying to entertain each other? Are they trying to practice for something? That's crazy.
Enrichment, boredom.
These are big alligators.
Yeah, it's so crazy. So, creme de la clutch, as a matter of fact, Jay, the edutainer is wearing your shirt today, says, let me see, my mama says, gators are ornery because they have them teeth with no toothbrush. Berm Donor Python says, thank you for the information on feeding. Savannah, I heard you talk on the podcast about studying crocodilians and their way of communication through noises underwater. Any new information on that?
I think what he's referring to is I think they're doing some scientific studies in Australia about the sounds that saltwater crocodiles make and trying to get, everyone wants to understand what they're saying, I guess. Right. So a lot of it's so low frequency we can't hear it. So they've mic'd a couple different ponds and they've been able to identify, okay, this sound comes from a fish. This sound comes from a turtle in the pond. This sound comes from a frog in the pond, whatever. Yeah. But the sounds of the saltwater crocodiles underwater are kind of the same beat or sound waves as a drum corps, right? Yeah. And what they're noticing is when the big salty starts his sounds underwater, the other salties react to that. So they don't know if the reaction is, hey, look out, so and so's coming, or if it's, hey, what's up, so and so's here.
You don't know what level it's on.
Interpreting that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that they are communicating.
There's some sort of communication, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's crazy. So Lisa came back, said, Savannah, it's all because of you that Jay and Brian were able to make the faithful day become destiny for Jay. Hey. Yes, it's because that is true too. And I'm very blessed and very thankful for that.
What was your old motto? Making dreams come true? Or was that my motto?
I think it might be your motto.
Okay. But either way, we made Jay's dreams come true. So.
Yeah, Jay is so blessed to be able to be with me every day. No one in the world could be more blessed than Jay. I love Jay, man. Trust me. Without him, I'd be screwed. So I appreciate him so much. Mr. Simpleman came back and said, have you ever seen new nano chameleon that they found in Madagascar? I haven't seen the new nano chameleon.
It's teeny.
It's got to be small. It's got to be small.
I saw a picture of it online.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Wow.
That's smaller than those geckos we have upstairs.
Yeah, the little morning geckos.
Is that real?
Yeah. It is real.
It does look real.
I believe. Look at how dirty that thumbnail is. That's real.
That's a dirty thumbnail right there.
You better be careful. Lamisil don't get that thing.
Yeah, right? That'd be a good commercial. Ohio guy went back to Gatorland back in the 90s. Fun time. And quote of the day, my hand slipped.
Somebody must have got bit that day in one of the shows.
No. I think he means with RJ, my hand.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Everyone knows that. Yeah, I've been told that many times.
Slippery down there.
Scottish Rob says, pissed. Couldn't get to Gatorland in 2020. Hopefully will soon. Bri, if I plan on calling tomorrow about sending that blackhead, Savannah, love what you guys do. Is the Nile Cuban out on to be viewed yet?
Not yet.
You gonna do that eventually, maybe, or you don't know?
I think so. I mean,
it's a cool animal.
It's an
beautiful.
Interesting story about it's an interesting that happened, whether it was accidental or not. I don't know. We'll have it on display at some point.
Yeah, we did miss what's Mike's favorite story about the salty.
Oh,
because you work with salties for, like you said, for decades now.
Probably, it sounds weird, but probably my favorite encounter with a salty is probably my scariest encounter with a salty, and that is the day that I became complacent in Morton, our 13, 14-foot saltwater crocodile enclosure, and I was watching another person doing a feeding on the other side, not really paying attention to what I should have been paying attention to, and Morton burst out of the water, and he actually went in between my legs.
My gosh.
Luckily, I was tall enough to where he didn't
brush your leg.
Yeah,
and
get
just
in,
grab,
and I was able to use a broomstick and put it in his mouth and let him bite on that, and he slid back into the water.
And then did you clean your pants after?
Oh man, that was I was shaking for a while. I went home after that show.
That's scary, man.
But that always resonated with me, and I carry that to this day. So
well, I think that's the thing. Like, I work with a lot of really cool and interesting animals, but there's really nothing here that could like rip my arm off. You know what I mean? Like, you guys do work with
RJ.
Well, I guess
that.
RJ, yeah, a little bit. But I mean, you guys work with. I mean, there's Salties and Niles and Cubans. I mean, that's a different level. You guys are. I mean, you really are on the edge. You know what I mean? Like, I love what you guys do, but certainly it's one bad mistake, like you said, just being complacent. For 20 years you've been in that cage, in that cage, and then that one time,
that's all it takes.
And bam,
and you're dead. See, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, I want a saltwater crocodile that I can raise up, like you raised up RJ and Salt and Pepper, and then so that I can work with it.
Yeah.
But we don't have small saltwater crocodiles right now.
Yeah.
And the margin of error, if I make an error with Dundee, is death.
Yeah.
I mean, so is it worth it to even try in that way? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think you do need a baby process, for sure. Start with that and get going, desensitize from there. Sherry Tapp always comes in and says, who is the largest alligator you have at Gatorland? What ages
debate.
do you move the baby alligators up in separate levels? Best to all of you.
Thank you, Sherry.
So, do you guys have like a kindergarten? Like how does that go? Like, do you?
Well, yeah, we have a hatchling area where we incubate and then hatch out, and then we keep them inside enclosures up till with a roof and sides, because the birds will carry them up till they're about 3 feet. So that takes about a year and a half. Then we start graduating them out into grow out pools, and we always have to keep them separated according to size, because as you know, alligators are cannibalistic. So if we put a 3-footer in with a 10-footer, they're trying to eat it.
Fresh meal. And what's your biggest gator?
That's a debate, right?
I'm Team Buddy.
Yeah, there's some big dogs out there. There's Buddy is out in the Brady Marsh, and he's pushing 14 feet. We have one that we named Chester, which you guys, he's up there.
But then we got One-Eyed Kyle, and I think One-Eyed Kyle might be bigger than both of them.
He might be.
Wow.
We're gonna have to get the tape measure out, I think.
Who's measuring that?
We tried. We
try measuring all the time, and it just doesn't work.
You know what you guys should try?
Yeah, I'm thinking like what do you do?
The semi-truck scales, right? Antagonize them with some food, bring them out into the scale like they use for big trucks, and see how much they weigh.
Oh, yeah. How much do you think a big gator like that weighs?
Well, we did Chester just like that. We had to transport Chester, and we used SeaWorld because they were right up the road. We used their scale, and we weighed the truck without Chester in it, and then we weighed it with it, and he was just at 1,000 pounds.
Whoa,
that's crazy!
That's
right?
shocking.
980 pounds.
It's about what Mom benches.
Yeah,
so.
Lori, don't shortchange her now. Come on.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Not bad. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That is a lot.
I didn't realize they got 1,000 pounds. My gosh, what's a big salty? What did they like a giant?
Dude, that salty Matt Wright has tripod. That thing's got to weigh well over 1,000 pounds. Yeah. I mean, it's probably pushing 2.
Yeah, I was about to say there are accounts of some of them pushing 2,000 pounds.
Wow. I mean, that's a true dinosaur.
And that thing's eyeball was that big.
What?
Like that. So it was a big crocodile, but I see big crocodiles. But seeing an eyeball that big looking at you is a whole different level of terror.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. Like, all I could do was stare for like the longest time.
Yeah, just stare at the eye.
And they were people were talking to me, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hang on one second.
I know that there's in Toledo they have that. Toledo Zoo, they have like supposedly the largest process in the country. Did you know that? Yeah, I think it's like 19 foot 2 inches or something like that. It's it's right down here, 1 hour away from here. It's
we should have gone there too.
I know we could have. I know the keeper's there too.
Next time.
Yeah, next time you have to go it up. But
I want to see that.
I know they spent like $100,000 to get it here. And it's supposedly the largest crocodile.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's right here in Toledo. So, do you want to, Jay? Can you do me a favor? Punch that up. The saltwater crocodile Toledo Zoo. I just want to see if there's information about that saltwater crocodile Toledo Zoo.
But I will tell you, when I went to Australia last year, right before the
Wow.
lockdown, I saw some of the biggest crocodiles that I've ever seen in my life, and all of them want to eat you.
Yeah. Oh man, when I went down the, I just want to see what this is. Massive crocodile finds hold at Toledo Zoo. Does it say how big it is in this article? Let's go down just a little bit. 17 foot, 1,500 pounds.
That's big.
Man, that's big.
Yeah.
15.
Now there's your dinosaur.
Yeah, that's
gone.
But yeah, so did you go down the Adelaide at all river in
I did
Darwin?
not.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
No.
It's cool. I mean, it's it's a little touristy because they call it the jumping croc, whatever. They so they're again, they see a boat and they're like food, just
Right.
like you with the bicycle, right? They're like, feed time. Okay. But it is really cool to see those crocodiles.
But
in
those
the wild.
crocodiles are different than our crocodiles. Like they're just, I mean, they're just so on it, and they're so calculated, and they're so like. I remember sitting and I was waiting, because I went to Crocodiles Park in Darwin, and we were waiting to go out and feed the crocs, and we had done it every single day. And I had been watching this one crocodile they call Snappy, and I'd been watching her every day, and she wasn't the biggest and she wasn't the highest jumper, but something about her made my heart hurt every time she was around. And I was trying to figure out what it was, but I was sitting there and I was sitting by myself because they had run up to get something, and of course I wasn't within them, right?
Yeah, right.
But I was on my phone, and all of a sudden, like, this feeling came over me, which is a natural human instinct.
Yeah.
Like your body starts to get hot all of a sudden. Like, you feel something watching you, right?
Right.
And I turned around, and this crocodile, Snappy, had come all the way around, and she had snuck up through the bushes without me hearing it at all.
Gosh.
And when I turned around, she was right there.
Oh, my
at
gosh.
the fence. Like, if the fence wouldn't have been there, she would have ripped my head
you
off.
would have been, It's crazy to think how that is. Now at Crocodilis, I've never been to Crocodilis, so I drove by there. I saw the fence, but I never was able to get there. How many crocodiles do they have? Is it like a huge farm?
I'm not sure. It's not a farm. It's a park, but so Graham Webb.
But don't they have do they have a breeding farm too, or is that just Crocosaurus Cove, or is that?
No, they had a breeding farm there in the back.
Right. That's what. Yeah.
Well, they had a
Well,
breeding
they breed
pond.
the crocodiles,
Yeah,
but
breeding pond.
then they sell them. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know
Yes.
it's like a skin.
But a lot of the big crocs there are there from croc attacks.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the Northern Territory will trap those crocodiles, and then they either go to a park, or they go to Matt Wright, or they go to a farm, like one of those places. And they don't go to a farm to be put down because they can't use the skin of a wild crocodile.
Right, yes,
So a lot of them go to Matt's. That's how he gets some of his big ones. But think about this part. They already know. Like the crocodile, some of the crocodiles that live in those places, They've
already eaten you.
They've already eaten people.
Oh
they
my
already
gosh.
know they can eat people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're on the menu.
And you have to walk in there having that feeling.
Yeah. Oh my
right?
gosh, this crocodile has eaten people.
At least one.
At least one, if
Right.
not more. That's the thing up in NT. It's very common for people to get taken. I mean, it's as a matter of fact, when you do go down the Adelaide, the dock there, the whole wall is just headlines of people that have been eaten by crocodiles. It's pretty incredible. Same thing with Niles in Africa. Same thing. We were in Josini, and that the dam we were in had 400 wild Nile crocodiles. It's the largest population of Nile crocodiles in South Africa.
Wow.
And almost once a month, someone is taken.
Wow.
Almost every month, someone is taken at that park.
That's
I mean, it's
crazy.
crazy. Not a park, but it's a dam. But we went to a farm in South Africa, up in Limpopo, and they claimed they had 40,000 Nile crocodiles at this farm. I don't know if they did, but I'm telling you what, they had ponds that were huge, like football field ponds, where they had grow outs, 3-4 footers, and there had to be at least 4,000 or 5,000 per pond.
Wow.
I mean, it was ridiculous how many animals were in that park. So that's why I asked about Crocodilis, just because I'd never seen anything like it before. Really impressive. In their breeding side, they had true 15-footers. I mean, true 15-footers, which
Crazy.
are giant. So it's pretty crazy.
I saw a crocodile at Crocodilis, and I didn't see it until the last day. And if I would have seen it before, I probably would have spent my whole time with this crocodile. It was one of the breeders at the crocodile park, and it was the day I was leaving, and they were like, "Oh, have you been down here yet?" And I was like, "No." So they took me down there, and we walk up to this fence, right? And they're like, "Back away." And I'm like, "Why?" Like, because the pond is way deep, right? And they're like, "Back away from the fence and take your hat off." So I take my hat off. I back away from the fence. They tap the fence. A crocodile bigger than I've ever seen jumps up on the fence, over the top of the fence. If my head would have been there, he just would have pulled it right off.
Oh my God.
And it was bright yellow. So I guess it was a white crocodile, not an albino, not a leucistic. And it was the craziest looking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I cannot wait to go back just because I want to watch that crocodile.
Yeah, just for like a week. Just to spend time. Yeah, that's amazing. Matt is back saying, Mike, tell us the Cubans and up the, jumping off the waterfall thing.
Is this the me having to climb the waterfall to get away from them? Or?
Tell us the Cubans. You up the waterfall story. Yeah.
So we just got a group of Cuban crocodiles, and I didn't know much about them, but apparently they will surround their prey,
right,
in order to subdue it. I didn't know that. At the time.
They work together, right? That's
so
crazy.
I'm in there in cleaning day, and I'm cleaning the bottom of the pool, and I notice that they start like moving in, and they're stationing themselves evenly around the pool.
No.
And then I look up again, and they're a little bit closer. I'm like, oh. I don't have a real exit, and Ricardo starts moving down the pool quickly, and then Lucy starts coming down the pool quickly, then Chiquita, and they all start coming, and I had to climb our 9-foot waterfall
just to
get away from them.
Oh my gosh.
So I thought that was interesting. So I wait a little bit, go back in about 30 minutes later, and thought that was just coincidence. And then I was down there cleaning, and they started doing it
the same
again.
thing again.
So then I realized that I had about 30 minutes to go in and clean and do what I needed to do.
Because after 30 minutes, they were going to start. Okay, guys, the plan starts at 29 minutes and 58 seconds. Let's go.
But didn't Ricardo rip someone's hat off their head at the waterfall pool one time?
Yeah, we were mowing. We were mowing, and we were in between the fences, and one of the guys was bent over trying to get some weeds off the fence or whatever, and there's this little gap because we have an outrigger that keeps Cuban crocodiles from jumping out of the fence.
Yeah.
And the brim of his hat was hanging over that part, and Ricardo jumped up and grabbed it as he was
snatched it off his head.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to apply for a job as the grass trimmer at Gatorland,
they need a new one.
Just go, they need a new one. The one they had is broken. Berm Donor says, I love my gator dearly, and I have no intentions on ever having him. But if you, not having him, double negative. But if something you would ever happen in your life where I couldn't have him, does Gatorland ever take in new residents? Just wanted the best life.
We do. We're actually up here to take in new residents.
That's what we're up to.
That's why we
what
came.
we're up to. So yeah, everyone needs new gators. So let's go. Wendy, hi ho. That's a ho, everyone. How many pounds of, this is a good question. How many pounds of food does Gatorland go through in a month? I know watching you cut meat is crazy.
It's gross, right?
It's gross, but it's nice.
I'm pretty gross.
But you guys go through a lot.
I got a mouse in my pocket. Are you happy to see me?
Oh, that's so
never gonna work that joke.
So have you heard this joke?
No, I was really trying to figure it out too. I was like,
so Savannah is convinced she's going to make this joke work.
It's not.
Go ahead. Let's hear the joke.
Not.
Okay.
Every morning I have to feed the kookaburra, and the kookaburra eats mice, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to take a big container out there because then I have to bring the container back. And so the mice are frozen, so I'll put them in my back pocket, right? And one day I was walking around, I had it in my back pocket, and I was super excited because I was like, oh, that's the joke, right? Is that a mouse in your pocket? You're happy to see me, right? So I walked up to somebody, and I was like, and it was a guy, and I was like, hey, is that a mouse in your pocket? You're happy to see me. And they were like, what? And so then I pulled the mouse out of my pocket, which I thought to be very funny.
So he needs to have the mouse in his pocket.
For that to work, right?
yeah.
But I got to figure out a way to.
So like, if it was a common thing,
You have a mouse in your pocket. In your pocket.
I just don't know how this one's gonna work out.
Oh my God. Les Rose's Burns said that her favorite gator. I love this gator too. Is Trezzo.
That's Danny's favorite.
Yeah, that's he has
It is.
fathered any clutches with Ashley yet.
One.
Nice.
Trezos laid egg. Trezos Ashley laid eggs last year. They weren't fertile.
Okay.
But it was her first year
year.
outside and with a male. So
Wow.
we're looking forward to this year.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so amazing.
Wouldn't it?
Also, we
incredible
didn't
animals.
answer the question. Do you know?
How many pounds of food? Yeah, I'm sorry.
month?
We go through about 2,000 pounds a week, so
2,000 pounds
So-
a week.
8
Yeah.
to 6.
Yeah, it depends on the time of year, but that's
a lot. That's a lot. Now, do you have to buy it or do you get it donated or?
Yes. Both of those.
Both. Okay, gotcha.
Right
So
now
you
we're
donate,
right now we're currently trying to use up 30,000 pounds of top sirloin that worked in our benefit with this COVID thing because restaurants weren't serving enough people, so they had a backload.
All right, so Jay, remember, bring some charcoal. We're gonna have some top sirloin when we come down.
Good stuff.
Keep that stuff on the rocks for us.
Should have been there when we had the octopus.
That was messy.
Octopus,
that was really messy.
Have you ever be honest? Have you ever taken a piece for yourself and grilled it up?
Maybe.
Okay.
I will say, I'm going to make a confession right now. I bought some tuna for Elvis.
Oh,
and we fed a little bit of tuna, and then I took it home and I seared it up and I ate it. Some nice ahi tuna. I was like, I can't give it all to him. I gave him half of it, and I took the other half home and ate it.
Hey.
It was really good. Do you think that Gustav, the crocodile, is real or is it still alive? That was the one that was.
It's a Nile.
It's a Nile that was like it killed a bunch of people, right? I mean, it was like one of the most famous.
I haven't heard really any media on it in a while.
It's been a long time. Yeah, that was like. I mean, it was a famous crocodile over in Africa that had supposedly killed hundreds of people. I think they claim it's probably a legend of hundreds of people, but certainly probably took some people, right?
Yeah, and I mean I've seen the photos. It is a big animal, but I don't know, if he's still around.
Speaking of, I know it was all the rage. Were you guys involved in this at all with the crocodile with the inner tube or the tire around it?
only through Matt. Through Matt Wright. So Matt went over there and talked to the government in Indonesia and got permits to go and try and trap that crocodile. But where that crocodile is a very like the waterway is always rough.
Okay.
The crocodile knows that.
Yeah, knows how to hide.
Yep, knows how to hide and knows that for years and years and years people have been trying to catch him. Like he's smart. He already knows all of that. So Matt built a cage, like a big trap, like they have in the Northern Territory, and put it out there. And then he did tell me that one night he was in the water and the crocodile popped up right beside the boat he was in.
Okay.
And it's a big crocodile.
It is.
But he said something that was really interesting to me because I like to learn from everyone. He said he didn't know the crocodile well enough to snare it in that small boat.
Oh, okay.
Because he didn't know what would happen.
Right.
Like he didn't know if, and you know RJ better than everyone. I would never go downstairs and try to grab RJ.
Right.
Because it's your animal and you know it better.
Right.
And so getting to know the animals is different. And but he did say they were in the boat and this was after like a few days. So probably the crocodile was over it.
Yeah.
And in that case, it's already angry that you're out here
like
again.
Yeah.
So that might have been like a, all right, I've had enough.
Yeah.
Like, and if he would have tried to get it in the boat, it was just it would have been too powerful to get in the boat.
Exactly. You read my mind, Jay. I was going to ask you to punch up the crocodile with the tire around it.
But every 5 years, that story resurfaces, and then everybody goes and tries to do it.
Yeah, everyone goes out. Probably just images. There's
Is it just like a? Oh,
yeah, it's like an inner tube.
Yeah. And it's like everyone tries to get it off, but they just can't. You know, because I think Forrest Gallant went out there with Animal Planet. Mike Wright went out. He's a guy. He's just a guy that has a show on Animal Planet called Alive and Extinct. But he's also he's a herpetologist, biologist, good guy. Known him for a long time, and he speaking of it, like one of his biggest conquests. I mean, he was really into Tasmanian devils. Like he wanted to prove. And there was just recently new footage of a Tasmanian devil.
Oh, really?
Brand new.
New footage?
Brand new. Can you punch it up, Jay? Just a new story, Tasmanian devil.
Like Cartoon Network, Tasmanian devil?
No, not Tasmanian devil. I'm sorry. Tasmanian, what's the
tiger thing?
Yeah, what's the tiger? Thylacine? Is that what it's called?
Is it not devil?
It's not devil. It's a Tasmanian, tiger.
Tiger?
No, it's called something else. It's a thylacine, but I can't remember what the actual. So just go to news. I believe there was, it was 1 day ago. Yeah. Is this a thylacine? Camera trap caught footage released. And that's not probably the good
That's
one there.
somebody's house
But
cat.
no, there was actually a video that literally had a thylacine walking across the.
I think that might be it.
Come on, play it.
Let's
No,
see.
don't do it. It'll kill her.
But don't show the viewers. Let's just us see it.
Yeah, it doesn't
Please.
matter.
I want to see it, Dad. I want to see
All
it.
right, go ahead. What'd you see?
Oh, damn. It's a
20 minutes. 20 minutes.
We're not watching that.
Yeah, not going to be able to get
We're
that.
not watching that.
But there was like this was not the footage that's a cat. That's
I
a
told
house
you that's
cat.
somebody's house cat.
That's a house cat right there. But there was literally footage just recently of a thylacine in a field that was legitimately a thylacine. Anyways, that Forrest Gallant was like really big about trying to prove that they are still alive and stuff like that.
Oh.
And so anyways, I know he went out there also to try to get the crocodiles.
But he didn't do it.
He didn't.
I mean, here's what I think. I've seen a lot of crocodile people in my life before, but I've never seen anyone, with the exception of Mike, that is as amazing as Matt Wright. If Matt Wright can't catch that crocodile, no one's going to catch that crocodile.
No, I agree with you. That guy has crocodile in his blood. I agree with you. V-Dog, what's your scariest moments? I think that it's a little bit, I'm sure you guys we all have scary moments, but it's almost like I try to stay away from that as much. I mean, you did a scary moment with a crocodile in your legs, but we all have scary moments. I think that working with these animals is more about what's the most amazing moments, rather than really focusing on the scary moments. Nothing against you, V-Dog,
the good outweighs the bad.
Yeah,
for sure.
and we don't want to ever vilify these animals as like they're scary, because they're amazing. I mean, yes, are they dangerous? Of course they are. Are they have potential to inflict amazing damage? Of course, but that's not. I mean, again, you've been doing it your whole life. You still have all your hands, your fingers, your toes, your everything. You've been doing it forever. You have everything. I mean, so I think as a human nature, we always go to that like, oh, when did you almost die?
Right.
But really, it's like,
it's safe
all the
practices.
amazing things that happen. So V-Dog, I'm sure we could bore you with scary moments, but I think we'll stick
I could
with
share something a
positive.
little exciting that happened today.
What
It wasn't
happened?
with the crocodile, but I was feeding Artemis. I was like doing a little ball,
yep.
and she lunged for the chicken or the mice that I was feeding her, and she missed and grabbed my shin,
Ooh,
like the front of my shin.
nice.
And I was just like, oh snap! She pinched it a little bit, but then let go. And I was like, good girl. Take the mice.
Yeah.
Got
So
the blood flowing.
That
didn't
was
it?
scary for.
Well, we almost
people.
fed Elvis Mike's pee-pee.
I
today.
did hear. I was hearing him talk about that.
I think that was planned. I felt little.
The blue ball got a little close to the balls.
Well,
Yeah.
free vasectomies is what we
yeah,
say.
exactly. A little bogus. I feel bad for the guy who used to be on that inner tube.
That's a good point.
That's a
Because it
very
just
good.
came right up under.
Boss hands ever? We just talked about this. Anyone ever lose limbs or fingers at Gatorland?
And that tube crocodile, it doesn't have to come out of the water, because where it is a place where people wash their dishes, so there's always
Right.
leftover food. And it's also a place where people throw out a lot of scraps and trash and stuff.
Yeah.
So the crocodile never needs to come out.
Yeah, it never needs to. Yeah. Well, I know catching a Nile crocodile in Josini.
Yeah,
It
you
was
caught
a-
that wild one.
yeah.
I saw that video.
It was let me really quick. I'll tell you guys a story. You may or may not have heard. Some other people may have heard this, but I went out with the biologist that was involved in crocodile science on Josini, right?
Okay.
And they were doing toxicology stuff on the crocodiles because of the mining in the area and stuff like that. They were concerned about poisons in the water, and so we lined up. Our fixer lined up this biologist. His name was Mark. He'd been there a year and a half to do scute samples and tag and measure and do all this other stuff. So we went out on the dam. We were there. We got there about noon one day, and we're going to be there all the next day. And that was it, just 2 days. That was it. And we were supposed to catch a crocodile. That was the whole idea. Catch a crocodile, let's pull it up. We have 400. It's not a big dam. It's there's a lot of crocodiles in this place, right? And so we go out the first day, and he's like, he gives me a noose and on a pole, and this is how we do it. We get to the bank. I mean, there's just crocodiles on the banks. I mean, just lining the banks. Boat, a pontoon boat. You come up, you noose them, and you pull them onto shore, and we sounds easy, right? Yes. Well, we're going on to the thing. Every time we get close, explode into the water, explode into the water, explode into the water, explode into the water. Never even get close. So we do this for hours. And literally, it's now starting to get a little bit dusk. We're about done. And I looked at Mark and I go, dude, like, what's been your success rate at this? And he goes, well, I've never actually caught one.
What?
A year and a half, never caught one. So I had to go back to the bush camp, and I hardly slept that night thinking of how we could actually catch a crocodile. Because, I mean, the whole doco that we were shooting was leading up to this moment.
Right.
It was like the climax of the trip.
Yeah,
and we thought we had this we thought this was like a piece of cake, like 400 crocodiles, a guy that's been catching them for a year and a half. No problem, man. We're good, right? And he'd never caught one ever. So the only thing is that on the opposite side of the dam, the lake, there was, they would all explode into the water, right? But there was this one area on the opposite side that was shallow. And it was shallow for about 20 to 25 feet. So instead of exploding into the water, they would have to get in the mud and go through, right? And so the next morning, I go, this is the deal. We need to get to that part of the dam. And we don't go right at the crocodile. We go where the crocodile's going to hit the deep water, right? Like we go, like he's not going to go directly. He's going to run away from us. I said, so we have to kind of, do some geometry here, get to there. And sure enough, big bull croc, one of the biggest crocs in the whole dam. And we go, let's go for that one. And literally first time we snagged him.
Nice.
That's amazing.
And we drug him onto land, and he was just over 15 foot long.
Wow.
And just a giant. It took 5 of us to pull it on land.
I bet.
5 of us to pull it on land. And it was funny because when we finally did all the skewed samples and tagged them and everything like that, Mark had said, the biologist said, he goes, this is the first time I've ever touched one of these animals. And he never even had touched one of them.
Boy.
Here. He had touched Niles
That's
like
crazy.
at parks, but never in the wild. And I'm thinking some silly Yankee American, comes here and catches. But I'm just saying, crocodiles are not easy to catch. And I probably got very lucky. I just watched a lot of Steve Irwin in my life. So, but we did do it.
No, you had a
nice.
plan.
Yeah, the plan,
exactly.
it worked. It's shockingly worked. I think it was a one-time plan. Yeah. I think if we wouldn't have got him, that would have been the end. Like we wouldn't have got him again, So let's see what we've got here.
I would actually be interested to see if he used your tactic again to catch more.
Oh, I bet. I would hope he did. I mean, I would.
With the only one time it worked.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't doing a very good job.
I'm sure
he
did.
Yeah, I would think he would have, because that was the only place in the dam that wasn't immediately deep, and it was like coffee water, right? Like once they went in, you couldn't see them. I mean, that thing could swim right by your boat. You'd have no idea that it was there,
Do you really want to go
Burn Donor is
in?
back as, what's the one thing that gators need or require that keepers might look past or not know? Whatever happened to the big gator in the Florida golf course? I think that might have been... You've seen the picture. I think it was like kind of forced perspective too, where it wasn't. It looked like it was like 20 foot long.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, he's still there.
Yeah, it's a big alligator.
It is. I'm sure it's a big one, but it made it look like giant. Like it looked like it was like, but it's probably still there. And then what does people need to know?
I don't know. I mean, alligators are just like any other animal. I think stimulation is important so that they.
RJ got some earlier.
They got some stimulation.
RJ got some stimulation.
They don't want to be bored and mundane. They like to mix up their life also.
Yeah. Well, I think that's important. Enrichment is so important. I think that we all think that with reptiles, like they just need boring lives, but they need enrichment. They need to be happy, to keep them mentally stimulated. Simple Man's back. Have you seen the documentary Croc?
Yes.
How is it?
It's the best.
Is it good?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Is it? I gotta watch that.
It's one of my favorite shows ever.
Oh my gosh.
And they talk about boss crocs, and they talk about like how there's croc gangs, and how like the boss croc gets to dictate who gets ladies, and nobody gets any till he gets his first. And then they're like brothers.
She's very excited and passionate about this.
It is
boss croc.
so good. And then they're like brothers, and then. Wait, no, that's a different one. Okay, and then one of them
That's
gets
BBC.
It's I watch a lot, but they do it in the style of like and like their gangs, like
Really?
it's really really
I'm
great.
gonna watch.
I have to see that.
I have to see this.
It's really great.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Croc
check that out.
Ganglands.
Gang. That is crazy. Well,
And they'll
thank
be
you,
like,
Simple Man.
boss
That's awesome.
crocs coming to door, and the ladies are all ready. Like it's so good.
Oh my God.
Do they
that sounds
sound like
good.
that?
Yeah, I was just
Natio.
thinking how smart Mike sounds on a microphone.
I always think Mike's smart.
Wow.
I never do, but he sounds so smart. I never.
Oh, wow. I'm going to need a recording
That
of
was
this.
a compliment.
I know. I need a recording.
Masked in an insult.
Masked in an
You can't be
insult,
too nice.
One of Savannah's best.
Yes.
There you go.
So you guys, can we talk about tomorrow with the one rescue croc?
Yes.
Or no? Okay. So can you tell me what you're doing tomorrow?
Do you want?
go ahead.
You sound like the smart one.
Well, I mean, you're the one that kind of pieced this all
I'm the
together.
funny one.
I'm the one who just has to come along to get filmed.
Be smart.
So we had an alligator that was released in Lake Michigan, I think 2 years ago.
Yep, it made huge news.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
It was obviously somebody's pet that they let go, and it can't live up here.
No.
So it ended up going to Rob Carmichael's place over here in Chicago.
Yep,
and,
Wildlife Discovery Center.
Yeah, and he's taking care of it, and he wants to have a good home, live in Florida in the sunshine, and we came up. Savannah's been friends with Rob for a number of years.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, so we're going to help him out, come up, and take him back down to Florida.
No, that's cool. And then you guys are doing some new stuff on it, huh?
Yeah, we got some over on his end, and then when we get back, we'll do some, and we'll put the word out about responsible pet ownership.
Well, that's the problem.
And,
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, obviously, it's ridiculous. Thankfully, good or bad, I don't know how you want to look at it. They can't live in Chicago or Michigan, but still, it sucks. I am one that, I'm not a hypocrite where I'm like, I got pet alligators. I should be no one, but at the same time, they're not pets. I mean, I don't like when anyone says, hey, I got I bought a pet alligator. I'm like, you made a mistake.
Right.
You've made a mistake because they are great when they're 6 months old, and that's why it's great working with you guys. We get to get little baby alligators.
Right.
We get to raise them up for 7, 8, 9, 10 months, and they get too big, and we get to ship them back to you, and we get little babies again. It works out fantastic. And of course, we have Salt and Pepper and RJ, but we're also a facility. I mean, I wouldn't keep those animals at my home. You can't give them up north. You can't give them the proper care that they need as a homeowner or stuff like that. And it's crazy that you can still buy them in Michigan as pets, which is crazy.
Yeah, they told us that at the restaurant we went to this morning, right down the road from your place. We're also picking up another alligator named Casanova.
Oh, I don't know about this one.
Casanova is
another rescue.
Another rescue. He was actually rescued, I think, from a crack house.
Oh, wow.
And he lived in a 40-gallon tank for the majority of his life. And he was fed one goldfish a month.
Oh, my gosh.
From the story we heard.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
so he's also been at Wildlife Discovery Center. And Rob Carmichael said, the plan for these animals was always to, send them to where they belong.
Yeah.
And so we're
awesome.
very fortunate to have great friends like that know that Gatorland cares a lot about them.
It sounds like Casanova should be in Gator Gangland or whatever.
He should have been,
He should have
right?
been in that.
He
But
could
he's already
tell
got
us stories.
Sorry, he's got the crack thing going on and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not even a goldfish; it's the crackers goldfish. That's the crazy. Just one tiny little goldfish.
It's just a cracker. Exactly. Oh my gosh. I thought you were talking about cracker.
Yeah.
I was thinking a different thing, but anyways.
Actually, I mean a cracker house.
like-
It was a goldfish cracker house.
Come on, Noah. Let's not go down that path. You know?
Great. You were saying Yankee. I was talking about the.
It's going to be fun to head out there and see you guys in your element over there. Rob's place is always really cool. I've only been there once with you.
Yeah, we had fun though, right?
It's a lot
We
of
had a
fun.
great
It's,
time.
for anyone that's up in the Chicago area, it's a really cool place, and it's I'm looking forward. I think Jay the Edutainer's coming because he wants to see the sloths. Of course, Rob has a couple sloths now, and he has a couple other things up there, so that'll be really fun. But yeah, so we're leaving super early in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, are we excited about that?
I don't know, because every time I mention it to somebody about getting from here to there,
It gets longer.
they start talking about the Chicago traffic as you turn the corner from the bottom of the lake. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm wondering if we have to go, if we can maybe circumnavigate, if we can take 290 instead of 9094, and I'll find that out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was going to type it into my phone and go.
Yeah, because if we take 9094, we could be in a world of trouble if depending on what time you hit the Chicago area. Right. But if you can go 290 and take it around, because I know he's north of the city, so I have a feling we can maybe get the loop around Chicago.
We'll follow you.
Yeah, I'll find out the best route to get there, because it'll be a lot of fun. So we're going to go have some fun with that. Let me think. What else was I wanted to bring up to you guys? I can't remember. You guys got anything?
I'm just happy to be here. The Reptarium looks amazing.
Yes,
it's
first
always
time.
great to come up here and see Rico.
Yeah.
And I love the mangrove snakes, and
I know.
and I like that Mike is kind of out of his element here, and we got to
Yeah.
scare him with some animals
It's
today.
I know. I heard him screaming while I was feeding something. I was like, "What's going on over there?"
I got rushed by a monitor that was about 5.5 feet long.
Yeah. He's a good. You can imagine. And we're talking about Elvis here. He's very enthusiastic about going after the blue ball. So you can imagine a 6 or 7 year old kid that's going to feed Elvis.
Right.
Right. And I always got to tell him, like, I mean, they just obviously, he's going to stop when I tell him to stop. But it doesn't see, just like you do with you do the crocodiles. You're like, that thing's charging at you. You're thinking like, you're pooping your pants if you don't know. But you know it's going to stop where you want it to stop, or you think at least. You can read it. I always know Elvis is going to stop. So we have this kids, it comes busting out of the thing. And you can see their eyes like, oh my gosh. They just want to drop the tweezers and run across the thing. Kind of like you did with the saltwater croc. But at the same time, what also always happens, because I always say, do not offer it food until I tell you. Right, I always say, but almost every time, as soon as it's running, they stick that food right out. Like, stop, do not eat me. So it's a lot of fun. But we did have a good time today. So we'll obviously put links in the description to all of Gatorland social as well as the YouTube stuff. I know you shot some stuff here. I shot some stuff about you guys, so it's going to be a lot of fun to show off. So do we have any last minute questions? Are we done?
We are done. So do you guys have anything else you guys want to shout out?
Yeah, is there anything that we can push to for you guys?
I mean, we would really love it if people would subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely, please.
And we work really hard.
You do.
We do work really hard to I mean, I wish we had like a Jay and a Noah and a Jay the edutainer, and I wish we had all those people. But basically, you were there the day I started our YouTube channel. Yeah. You guys were both there.
Yeah.
I remember.
Which was, I know I need to do this, but I don't know how. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to do one thing.
Yeah.
And then you and Omar, right, were just like, just do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So from the very beginning, you guys have been very supportive, and I appreciate it. And so I feel like I'm doing better than in the beginning.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you guys are doing great. I mean, it's impressive. You guys put out great content, consistent content, which is hard. I mean, you guys got a lot going on, and I know you're kind of, running around trying to do your job and that and everything else. And I'm sure there are, just like us, there's days that are rough. Like you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do today?
Yeah.
Or, maybe.
Like Sunday. Sunday I
Sunday
came
was
in
tough.
and we had done a tour until 9:30 at night, from 9 in the morning until 9:30 at night the day before. And I walked in and I was like, Mike, we have to do something today, but can we do something today where we get to sit down?
Yeah.
So we just sat in saltwater crocodile enclosures to see who would get run out first.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I sat
that's
in
a
with
good
Dundee
challenge.
and Phoebe, and he sat in with Morton and Sheila. And
We just filmed each other.
yeah,
And then we
just
started
filmed
throwing
each
chicken
other
at each other.
Oh my gosh, that is.
So it was, I mean, we
That
think
is
it was
such
really
a
cool,
good
but
thing.
our YouTube channel is what funds our conservation.
Yeah.
So it's what gives us the money to come up here and get Casanova and David and give them a great home. It's the money that gets to send me to Jamaica to give to the sanctuary. So it's very important to us to keep our conservation going. And we really do appreciate every subscriber. And I try to talk to everyone as much as I can.
No, you do a great job. You're
for
definitely very
assholes.
interactive, and except well, there's always going to be those people, but nevertheless, you guys do a great job, and I think that the social side has gotten so good over the last couple of years. So keep up the good work with that.
Thank
And
you,
like you
thank
said, and I
you.
think it's great that Gatorland is has had a following since the 40s. Obviously, people love it, but like you said, you've given a new light to it to the people that didn't know about it. And like I said, I hear it more and more and more people talking about like going to Florida just for Gatorland.
Yay!
And I think that's amazing, and I think that you guys keep it up, because there's it's huge. People love and want to conserve what they understand and get to interact with
And care about.
and care about, and you guys give that. I mean, every person, as a matter of fact, even my buddy Forrest that passed away, unfortunately, when I said we were going to Gatorland when we were down in Florida, he's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll just stay back at the hotel. And he literally went to Gatorland. He's like, this is one of the coolest places I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah.
He was just, I mean, he loved Gatorland from that moment on. And I think he thought maybe it was going to be like a cheesy, Gatorland side type of thing. It's not at all. I mean, you guys have everything there. It's quite amazing.
It's huge. It's 110
huge.
acres. It's bigger than, what did you say earlier?
Disneyland,
Yeah, it's-
acreage-wise.
That's
Acreage-wise,
crazy,
it's
yeah.
bigger. And so it's just a really great day to bring the family, and it's
Oh
a
my
lot of
gosh.
fun, and we just love it when people come. We get people that say they, come from your channel all the time, and it's always great to meet them and talk to them about your animals as well as our animals.
I know.
So,
Just the other day, I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but it was just a commenter on my video, and they comment. They're like, I'm at Gatorland today. I'm trying to find Savannah. No idea if they found you, but they were like, and they actually even sent me an Instagram picture of the gator, out front, and they're like,
That's
they were all
great.
excited. So I know they had a great time. So I don't know if they ever ran into, but nevertheless, it was good times. So, but well, cool. I know we have a super early morning. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. We're gonna go take an epic crisscross picture.
Yes.
With salt and pepper right now.
Nice.
And then we're going to get some rest and head out early in the morning. So, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Why don't you take us out of here?
Thank you guys for watching. You guys have been checked in, and we are checking out.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much. See you.
All right.
Bye.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh, I like your outro. That was great.